Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I wanted to talk to you about whether you can do a master's and a PhD program at the same time. So if you don't know, I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I'm doing this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can, because there were so many people that helped me along the way that I wanted to give back. So I created this sort of sharing economy proofreading platform to help out people to get feedback on the writing. And then as a way to sort of get people to notice this particular website, what I'm doing is giving back even more by doing these YouTube videos and helping out all the PhDs and graduate students that I know by putting out these different YouTube videos. Hopefully you find it useful. By the way, I'm outside right now. My kids are at practice playing baseball, so I thought I'd share a couple of these videos right now. So, can you do a master's degree with a PhD at the same time? Generally, no, you can't do that. Generally, it's a sort of sequential process where you do a master's degree, then a PhD. However, there's two exceptions that happen. The first exception is that on your way to do a PhD, so you're an undergraduate student. So some universities will do this across the world. It's more in the U.S. It is more common to do this kind of thing, where you actually have a master's before a PhD at the same time. And I don't know why. It's just kind of what the norms are. And so normally what you would do is you would be an undergraduate student and you want to do a PhD. So you go to that program, and what they would do is run you through the master's program, and it's usually just a lot of coursework, and you do a lot of you might just do courses and then maybe a small little project or something like that after that. So, which is the same thing as a PhD at most universities across the world. The university that I was at Canada, you did 2 years of coursework anyways, and then after that you go in to do your research. So this is what they would do: is you would get a master's, you check that off. After you do your coursework for the first couple of years, and then you go on and do your PhD, which is maybe 3 or 4 more years of doing research, where it's your independent study, where you're working on writing papers and going forward, right? So it's kind of like a check mark to get on to the next stage. And the reason why programs do that, and this is the second reason, is sometimes you decide that you don't want to do a PhD sort of halfway through the program. And that's a really natural, sort of good place to sort of decide that you don't want to continue on with that. And then you end up getting a master's degree after that, right? So a really research intensive master's degree from that. So you're going through the PhD program, and a couple of years in, you're like, I don't like this. So instead of just having nothing, what programs will do is they will have, or what departments will do is they will have a research master's, where you can sort of have that research master's as an out before you carry on and sort of go forward within that, because it's not for everybody. A lot of people choose not to do it once they actually go into the program and they realize what it's about. And that's part of the reason why I do these YouTube videos, is to show what it's about and what PhD life is about, because a lot of people just don't know. And there's not, when I started my PhD program, there really wasn't any resource like this. There was nobody doing any of this kind of stuff. I think I'm the first one doing all of this kind of stuff, and making just it open and honest, and being real about what a PhD and doing what a PhD is, and answering all these different questions. So hopefully that helps you in terms of deciding what to do. So there's those two ways normally. So normally a master's and a PhD are separate. And normally, oh, actually, there's a couple more exceptions. I forgot about these. So sometimes what you can do is a PhD combined in some science discipline with a master's, with an MBA or something along those lines, in two different disciplines. It's not common, but it does happen sometimes, right? So it's the same thing as like doing a PhD in an MD, or a law degree in a PhD. And what they're doing is kind of concurrently training you to do, getting these dual joint degrees. It's not common by any means. Not a lot of people do them. They give you some options, but in general, the normal traditional way of doing a PhD is you go through and you do a master's first at one university, and then you do another one at another, do a PhD at another university. And the reason why you want to do that is you're going to get different schools of thought at those different universities. And often what you find out, so during your master's, and this master's thing is really a learning experience, right? So you learn what you like, and then you might find somebody that is better suited, or an advisor that is better suited, and then you go and work with that particular advisor at a different university. And that's really common. That happens all the time. So don't feel bad if you're sort of deciding to do that as you're doing your master's program and you're deciding to switch to something else. It might sting for a little bit for that one or two people that you decided to go someplace else, but that is totally normal. So that's it. Hopefully answer your question. And so master's, PhD separate, except for sort of exceptional, sort of strange cases that tend to happen once in a while. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. All right, take care. Bye.